A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just gonna tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
What do you think about passport bros? What's your opinion about that concept?
Well, I think that, like they go there because they can't really handle us here,
Okay.
because we have a lot of, I feel like they can't take the feminism and the fact that we actually speak up for ourselves. And, the fact that we're independent and we do our own shit. And they don't like it. Some people don't like, some men actually do like it, but these men, I don't know why, they're so against it. They don't like to see us shine. I just don't know why.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
You heard the thing about the passport thing? The guys that travel because, let's say a guy from Canada that wants a traditional woman, a more traditional relationship.
Qui mange mon
But they probably would like that.
sont méchants.
So you don't like that?
Non.
Okay.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Bitch, you think it's small. We need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking big, bitch.
Japan, it's actually customary for the date to be Dutch, like
Interesting.
50-50, because they know that they have to come together and
Okay.
get married and have children because they're still focused on traditionalism.
Does that change, like you're saying it's Dutch initially? Does that change if they do get married? Does the man take on more of that financial responsibility at that point?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
There's a massive traditional aspect to the relationships, to an extent that in really traditional Japanese households, the man understands he's got to provide for the family. So he actually hands over his entire salary to the mother or the wife, and then she allocates a portion of that for him to spend, and then she takes care of the children.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
This one's for the men who just say they've given up on Western women and are gonna go abroad for a woman. I understand some of your frustrations, but if you're gonna be a passport bro, there are certain downsides. First of all, you have no idea if this woman is using you for a visa or your money. You're not gonna be able to have fun banter with her. She might be more feminine, but she might not feel like your best friend. She might feel more like a maid service. Number 2, you're definitely going to run into some cultural differences. Is she going to be willing to give up her family, her friends, her career?
You serious?
Lots of this passport bros video going around where American women are getting kind of upset that.
When are we gonna escape this mentality? She said that these bros are not marrying foreign women because they speak little English or because they have a lack of education, but because they're more nourishing and more caring. You're describing a maid, a free lift and one for the rest of your life at that. And at the end of the video, she's like, oh, this is mutually beneficial, and if it doesn't work out for you, just leave. Leave where? With who? With what money? In a foreign country where you speak little English and have little education? Just do a little more thinking, girl. Why do they want to marry women that can't speak the predominant language? Because they're easier to control. It's not as easy as you're saying. So stop misinforming people. Stop defending these lowlives who are preying on our sisters.
This salty female in the video sounds like she came to America to live that city girl lifestyle, so the trash took itself out. And she, like most of our detractors, conflates the whole movement with the obscure mail-order brides, which only losers do. Like, that doesn't happen that often anymore because those same bottom percentile men are getting blow-up dolls now. And these modern women will call cooking and cleaning for a man they love as being a maid, yet they'll happily work as actual maid jobs for $30K per year, where they can get fired anytime and they have to work the full 8 hours per day to pay their bills. Most of these traditional women who stay home to cook and clean work maybe 30 hours per week at the most, especially if they're raising infants as well, and that's working like more days per week. But I guess these bird brains never did the math. Let's see the comments. Top comment says, they want a power dynamic where they have the upper hand. It's more like Passport Bros, and most men in general want an actual relationship, because the relationship dynamics in the West are so one-sided that anything that resembles a traditional balanced relationship is considered oppressive to these females. They don't want to stay at home to begin with because they want their quote-unquote independence, which means the opportunity to cheat discreetly. You see, if a woman in an LTR goes to work, she's not only going to be around single men at the workplace, but during lunch and before and after she gets to work, so she'll have the perfect cover to cheat. She can cheat during lunch, which is an hour after work, and claim she had to work overtime. Even during the workday itself, which she secretly can take the day off and not tell you, and be somewhere else getting smashed out and you wouldn't know the difference. A 50-50 relationship doesn't work because the woman isn't fully invested in it, as she's one foot out the whole time. She has no reason to do her part or stay loyal because she can easily afford to be on her own. Another comment. The truth is, once they are with these men for a while, they will see why we didn't want them. And this is all projection. Another comment says, they think they're just more desirable women, top tier pick-me's. And that's the issue. These females in the West think that actually wanting to be in a relationship and keeping the man happy is a bad thing. And apparently, these traditional women are more desirable because they're actually getting married to American men. Last time I checked, 6 out of 1,000 men are getting married in the US. The rest of the world, including Japan, sees unmarried women over 25 as leftover women.
The update on the roster is that it is decimated, obliterated. There's only one person left on it, and I might be so stupid for this. It might really bite me and end up hurting and being terrible, but we are taking risks in 2024 in our dating lives and otherwise. And so yeah, I knocked everyone off the roster. Let's get into more detail. Basically, I had someone flying out for a day. I had another person who was flying in. He was going to be here anyway, but basically was coming in to meet me. Another guy, the hot doctor, who had planned trips for us, like fully planned, booked everything. All of those people, I called and said, I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to cancel your plans or make other ones because I'm unavailable. And then I just said, I'm going to be so transparent with you and say, I met someone I think is quite special and I can't divide my attention. And so I am no longer available to meet up with you. And some people took it well. The hot doctor honestly took it so well. And so did the other guy who was flying in. They really, really sweet responses. And I think a good sign of like strong character and just good people, because they pretty much said, I'm rooting for you and good luck, and if this person you think is special, they must be exceptional, and so lucky him, and call me later if you're around, basically, which I really appreciated. Some others were more sassy and mean, and they were like, seriously, it's not that serious, we're just gonna get dinner. I'm like, okay, but it gets weird. So anyway, cancel that. I had a ski trip with someone that I canceled. The Hawaii, the Cabo, the everything else, it's all canceled. It is all off the board. All my other DMs are gone. When I say I went nuclear, I just really cleaned house. Why did I do this? And why is the internet going to be so mad at me for this? Okay, so the backstory, if you're not familiar with this, is I had a free trip to the Galapagos. And I posted this video being like, I have this free trip. I was going to go with my ex-boyfriend, but we broke up and I don't know who to go with. But if anyone matches XYZ, and I went down my dream list of a partner and said, if anyone matches that, let me know. And then my life turned upside down with, all of these DMs and messages and resumes and whatever being like, oh, I think I might be the partner for you. And so that is why I've had such an influx of all of these dates and people. One of these people from like the very beginning, the first message, I just thought something is different. Something is in the air, in the water, something's a little bit different. But was getting to know him, was getting to know other people, blah, blah, blah. Throughout the process, this person very much seemed different. And you can, I'm positive that you know who it is, but anyway, yeah. So with that said, I just decided I can keep dating around and considering all these people, or I can focus and be more intentional and purposeful in my dating life. Because this started as kind of like a fun, ooh la la, we'll see what happens sort of thing. And then I'm like, okay, at some point, this is just my life. And I really want partnership in my life. And so I'm realizing, oh my gosh, I've found and connected because of this crazy social media video situation, a really exceptional person. And I think that it would be foolish to kind of pass that by and divide my attention further. And there are two primary reasons for that. One is romantic and one is just realistic. The romantic piece is I'm a hopeless romantic, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, you seem like you're amazing and so perfect. Maybe you are, and maybe you aren't. Like, my one red flag still is kind of like everything seems so perfect and buttoned up and like amazing that I'm like, is it actually? Like, who really? Are you just saying what I want to hear? Maybe, maybe not, because you never know. And then number two is time. I just don't have time to date all of these people. I have a full-time job. I do content like this because I love it and it's fun, but it does take time. I volunteer with another group. I make content for another group. I am studying for grad school. I'm working out all the time with 75 Hard. Like, time is the most finite resource and is the most precious thing. And I was looking at my calendar and I was like, holy moly, I have these dates with these people, could have a different date every single week. And that's 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week, like assuming you don't do weekends, whatever. But like, that is so much time and I don't have it to give. I don't have it to give. And so I cleared everyone. Everybody got cleared off except for the one. And like I said, this might really bite me in the butt because he's free like once a week, basically. So I get like a once a week, like we can get together, and it's always on a time limit of sorts. So I'm like, okay, I get it. But boys got goals and so do I. And so that kind of works. But that's where we are with the roster, with this whole situation. The trip, I'm going to have to reevaluate because it's coming up really soon. And it takes me a very long time to be comfortable with someone in a way that is romantic and intimate enough to go on a trip for over a week together across the country. Like, I still have to figure out if this person is potentially someone that I would even date, number one. And then number two, like, there's just a lot of things to figure out. And the trip is coming up very soon. So I've got to do some reevaluation there. I have a few ideas.
These modern women in the West go into relationships in bad faith, as we saw. Like the thought in the video who was secretly dating a bunch of men at the same time and bragged about it being her roster. Meanwhile, these men probably wasted a lot of time, money, and effort thinking they were exclusive with her, along with the fact that they were exposed to a higher risk of getting an STD. Because it's not just her they have to worry about. If the other men on her quote-unquote roster and men she doesn't even mention hooking up with that they're also exposed to, and the women those men are seeing as well. So one bedwench can expose you to dozens if not hundreds of other people. This is one of the main reasons why men in the West have gone MGTOW and became a passport bro, because they're done being used for free relationship benefits. They're done being lied to throughout the whole relationship. I guarantee she implied she was exclusive with all the men on her quote-unquote roster, but she never said it. So if they ever find out and felt some type of way, or get mad, she can't always say, I never claimed to be solely monogamous with you, or I'm exploring my options, or you're controlling, or I can date whoever I want, or stop being jealous. She led all these men on until she met the quote-unquote right man. The doctor literally spent thousands of dollars on the date with her, with the reservations and airplane ticket. But of course that doesn't matter. Who cares about the other men? As long as this bedwench is living out her love story. Unbelievable. And she characterizes these men who took the loss on the chin as strong character. Nah, that's being a pushover simp. Sure, the hot doctor can probably easily replace her with a hotter chick because he's rich and supposedly handsome. And now she supposedly met a more rich, handsome 3% man, who I'm sure is going to ghost her after he gets the box, because he has to play this baller game if what she says is true about him, that he's exceptional. He must have resources and found out that she's on social media bragging about screwing over a bunch of men at once. I truly hope he's using her for a period of time and then moves on. And this is why I effing say, stop giving free relationship benefits to modern women. It's Dutch until they have earned it. That is, you've seen their phone, text messages off and on for over a couple of months randomly. You have never known what they're not up to. They have never gone out on girls' night out and so on. And this is why the Passport Bro movement has taken social media by storm. There's always a catch whenever the female is attractive in the West. She either has an STD, or is a single mom, or on OnlyFans. A massive HOE is hung up on her toxic ex, has daddy issues and other dangerous personality traits, is a hardcore feminist, or using many men at once like this thought. Let's read the comments. Top comment says, please apply to be the Bachelorette at this point, ha ha ha. And that's exactly why these modern women are doing this. They think they're the prize with these shows like The Bachelorette. And with that series of shows, if you compare the women on The Bachelor to The Bachelorette, when they're fighting for a man, as in women on The Bachelor, they're on their best behavior, but when men are fighting for one woman, The Bachelorette, these women are on their worst behavior. Matter of fact, the last major Bachelorette, Hannah Brown, slept with 3 to 4 different men on national TV and now is complaining that no one wants to date her. She's in LA getting ghosted by D-listed actors as we speak. So of course, the females on social media are living out their own dating show, love story fantasy. Another comment says, I have a weird feeling about Mr. America. I had a good feeling about Hot Doc. Yeah, it's her intuition. If Mr. America is the new guy that made this thought cut ties with everyone else, he might be playing her super hard. As for the doc, he's rich and handsome. He's gonna be okay. He won in the end because it showed that she'll probably divorce Robin for another man in the future had they gotten married. Another commenter says, he is married. The man sounds too good to be true, and he probably is. I'll always say this to females. If he is handsome, rich, and good with women, you're probably not the one and part of his rotation. Someone responds to the comment, that was first thought. Only available 1 time a week for a specified time? And more comments. Once a week? Time limit? Red flags. Once a week on a time limit, the guy either has a very full roster or he's married. Exactly. These women know something is up with this so-called perfect guy. But this is what this bedwench deserves because she's playing other men. And I say this all the time. Never ever feel sorry for a modern woman when a man wrongs her. Because she has done the same exact thing to at least a dozen other men, if not more. And after she gets played, she'll come back on social media crying about how men are the worst and liars and boys. It's fun and games until someone plays them. Then it's an issue. That's why I say, don't even bother committing to a Western female. Just smash and dash and hope the condom didn't slip.
Well, the thing is this. The women in other countries, such as DR and Thailand and, these other countries, it's just culturally the norm for a woman to be cooking, for a woman to be taking care of her man, all that stuff. The whole independent woman thing is really a U.S. thing. Now, we kind of ruin it for ourselves a little bit, being too strong and being too independent, because then we don't allow the guy to be a guy. So there's a lot of guys right now going to other countries to find wives. But I will say the caveat with that is that they don't realize that once they bring those girls here, it's going to be a whole different bag.
But a lot of dudes are smart enough to know not to bring them here. Right?
If they're smart enough, the guys are smart enough to stay in those countries and to live, and they're happy with that lifestyle, then it could work. It could definitely work.
So you feel like these dudes leaving the passport bros, that's what they call, that it could work with a relationship overseas?
Oh, absolutely. It could work overseas, but you got to be willing to move from the U.S. and go there. Because as soon as you bring the girl here, you're done. It's a wrap for you. Think about this. Think about the Russian brides that they get the ring and they doing the thing. And I love my Russian people. But y'all know, once you come here and you have the lifestyle, you get the coat, you're good. Sorry, my phone's ringing. You know, as good as I do, that the girl is gone. She's got her green card. She's got everything. She's done. She's out of here. So realistically, you really want to keep a beautiful woman like that, you're going to have to, you want her to keep treating you the way that she's treating you, you're going to have to go to another country.
She's right in general. You bringing a traditional woman back to the West and you're risking her turning into a typical modern woman and a feminist. She'll be around females that will give her bad advice that will undermine the relationship. And off the bat, you'll attract the wrong woman if your goal is to bring her back to the States or the UK. Because you'll get someone who wants the green card and live that city girl lifestyle. Remember, usually the town or city HOEs want to leave because they already have a bad reputation where they're from. Their family had disowned them already, so they need a new fresh start. To do this right, you're gonna have to fully commit to becoming a passport bro and actually move overseas. Let's read the comments. Top comment said, "Our women are whores. 304s. Nothing more or less." Exactly. The neighborhood HOE 50 years ago did nothing but cause trouble and sleeping around. That's why society in the West used to shun them. This included single moms who had kids out of wedlock. But now this is the norm for America and the feminist West. These town HOEs are everywhere. Another comment. She got that right. Bring that woman here and watch what happens. I'm pretty sure by the way she's dressed that she's less traditional than her peers. It doesn't negate what she said is wrong, as she's just more modern than most traditional women and she still understands what is required for a healthy relationship. So in conclusion, get your passports for an LTR and marriage.
What is the ideal age for a guy?
I really like 28 to 37 max. Like not in the 40s.
What would you want his income to be?
$500,000? Is that bad?
Alright, let's get it. Age 28 to 37. Get rid of the married. Any race. We'll do the minimum height 5'8". Exclude obesity. And 500k. This is a cat bag for sure. Let's see. And dun 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 dun. 0.058 full-fledged cat bag.
Name 3 countries outside the United States. Go.
Jamaica. Europe.
Okay.
Dubai.
All right. Good job.
Europe is
Fantastic.
not a country.
You can't name what the girl before you named. Yeah.
Asia.
Okay.
She named all the ones that I would call out.
That's the only country you know is Asia?
No, that's not the only country, but she already named the ones that I would have said.
So the other countries you would have said are Europe and Dubai?
Yeah, well, Europe.
So your 3 countries are Europe, Dubai,
United States
and
of
Asia.
America.
Can't name America.
That's not a...
You're 30, by the way?
Yeah, I am.
And the 3 countries that you can name are Europe, Asia, and Dubai.
At this moment, yeah.
At 30.
Okay, no worries. I've met girls that are very average, that have millionaires, celebrities, athletes, etc. Then they go back into the dating marketplace and think, I attracted and I had sex with this caliber of guy. I deserve this caliber of guy as a boyfriend or a serious counterpart. And it skews their perception of reality as to where they really stand in the dating marketplace.
In places like Miami, rich places like LA, maybe girls think that way, but in 98% of the United States, I don't think girls do that. Where they some celeb guy one time and they're like, I'm only gonna date like somebody that's been in a fucking Marvel movie.
Do you really think that they want to settle down with the average guy? We can do it right now. And I'm gonna
no, it's a dumb question because nobody wants average. average. Like even an average guy, given like the opportunity, wouldn't want the average woman. If you go talk to normal people outside of like the world of YouTube, and there are lots of average men with average women. Most people date and marry within their class, within their education, within their race, within their geographic region. That happens to like 95% of people around the fucking world.
As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.